Los Angeles. She's Ashley. I'm Neil. A night off for baseball. Football never stops. And while the puck drops for hockey, we tip off the show with basketball. A dozen games on the Friday schedule.
You forgot to mention the fact that we have a Lion here in studio. Hold on. The Bulls, though, in Boston, visiting the defending Eastern Conference champion Celtics, who have been slipping a little bit, trying to pick things up after losing 3 of their last 4. Jason Tatum getting going. DeMar DeRozan, man, coming off his worst game of the season. He had 9 points, 2 of 11 shooting against the Hornets on Wednesday. Totally redeems himself here on Friday night. 13 points in the first quarter alone. Let's get going. Bulls going to half down 6. Late third, Malcolm Brogdon. Holy shnikes. Jaylen Brown with the slam right on you over Nikola Vucevic. Celtics up 5. Moving on to the fourth. About halfway through the quarter here. Celtics up 11. Tatum, 3, money. Finished with 36 in this one. Celtics up 14. Later in the fourth, DeRozan. Ooh, getting physical, that tough and 1 fadeaway. DeRozan, the first Bulls player with 40 points against the Celtics in Boston since MJ did it back in '91. DeRozan would finish with 46. Have yourself a game. But, man, Al Horford handed it to Brogdon, fighting, picking up the foul in the process. Celtics back up 9. 2 minutes left in the game. Zach LaVine finding Vucevic. 3, open. Vucevic still hot. Stay hot. And the Bulls are down 2. 30 seconds left in the game. Still down 3. DeRozan driving. Passes to Patrick Williams. He is stripped by Tatum. Tatum sends it the other way to Brown. And it's stolen back. LaVine to Williams. You got a chance to tie it, and it doesn't go. The Bulls go on to lose 123-119. So Friday was Jason Tatum's 4th 30-point game of the season. Through 8 games, Tatum's 247 points are the most by any Celtic player to start a season. He passes Larry Bird's 245 in the 84-85 season. That was Bird's 2nd of 3 straight MVP seasons.
When he declined to get the COVID vaccination, New York City benched Kyrie Irving for much of last season. Allowed to play in his first home game in Brooklyn after 9 months away, fans made it clear from their applause that they forgave him. How forgiving will those same folks be when Irving returns from his much-publicized 5-day suspension, assuming he returns? Irving out after, in the opinion of the Nets front office, not apologizing properly for a social media post about an anti-Semitic documentary. The world's largest Jewish population outside of Israel, New York City.
Over the course of the last 5 to 6 days, the organization has made multiple attempts to get with Kyrie and his representation and have them clarify his feelings and put out a sense of remorse for this, and that obviously didn't happen, and he refused to disavow that until his tweet last night. So I think this was the best course of action. You would always hope that there's a change. There's a change in feelings, a change in attitude, and I think per his apology last night, that's a step in the right direction. But again, as we've sort of stated, that actions speak louder than words, and so he's had some time, and there'll be some more time to reflect on this situation. I mean, it just sucks all around for everybody.
I ain't here to judge nobody or talk down on nobody for how they feel, their views, anything. I just didn't like anything that went on. I feel like it was all unnecessary. I felt like we could have just kept playing basketball and kept quiet as an organization. I just don't like none of it.
A mess both off and on the court. The 2-6 Nets on the road. The Wizards no match for Kevin Durant and crew. By the way, Durant wears Nikes. That company suspending Irving on Friday, doing business with him. Step back, Bobby Jack, Durant over Porzingis, and then saying, hey, man, I'm Kevin Durant. 30 seconds left in the first. Nets already in charge. Durant, Daniel Gafford, sliding away. Durant asked afterwards, said, hey, man, it was more the floor he slipped more than my move, but still, that was something else. Boom. Oh,
That's what they all say.
He did the splits. James Brown. Feel me now. All right, 7 seconds left in the second quarter. Durant's going to hit a 3 to end the half. 19 and 8 in the first half. 28, 11 assists, 9 boards for the game. This was all Nets. They were 14 of 28 from three. Durant's going to hit another one. 1986, St. Patrick's Day, the Nets' biggest win at Washington, 28 points. Update that, whatever day Friday was, 42-point win. Wizards' largest home loss in franchise history. The Nets tied for their largest road win in franchise history, and they needed it. Let's bring in Nick Friedel. And Nick, you know, we're reading about this, we're hearing about it, but you're knee-deep in it. What's it like covering the Nets right now? What's the vibe like?
Well, the vibe tonight, Neil, is fantastic. You and I have heard the cliche 1,000 times. The basketball court is my sanctuary. That it was tonight for the Brooklyn Nets. Jacques Vaughn, the interim coach, said he had a simple message for this group. And he said, we just have to focus on tonight's game. And, Neil, with all the stuff that's going on with Kyrie, the fact that Ben Simmons is hurt, Seth Curry didn't play, this team was very undermanned. But they still had Kevin Durant. And they just wanted to focus on basketball. So often with the Nets through the last year, things have nothing to do with basketball, and it's impacted their team on the floor. Tonight, they just played, and they felt good about it. And I can't tell you how many more smiles I saw tonight on the bench compared to the last week and a half. It has been a miserable experience inside that organization day after day after day. This was a needed respite for the group.
How does Kyrie Irving fit back into this group if he eventually comes back?
I'm not sure right now, Neil, if he does. But if he does, Sean Marks, the Nets GM, made it very clear that he's got several more steps to take, aside from that apology we saw late Thursday night on Instagram. If he clears all those steps, maybe the Nets allow him back on the floor. But right now, that is very much in question, because the other thing we have to consider here is Kyrie's got to meet with Adam Silver. And, Neil, in talking to people in the league office, Kyrie never fully understood in the last week just how many people he upset with those social media posts. He didn't put that into consideration, and I am sure that Adam Silver is going to say, Kyrie, you need to understand the ramifications of your decision here. So there are so many different layers, and there are so many different steps to take, and I think we're a long ways off from trying to put Kyrie back on the floor right now with this group.
Nets back on the floor at Charlotte Saturday. Nick Friedel with the latest.
All right, Houston.